Hello everyone. In this tutorial we are going to integrate Google Maps inside our React application without using any external component such as React Google Maps or Google Map React. As many of you have tried all these external components and maybe you didn't feel that you can control the markers or you can control the info window, etc. But this way we are going to have the absolute control over all our components. Let's start by removing all the extra things here and just go to Google Maps API, this one here. Okay, we will have a div ID map, just paste it here and let's take the map, just wrap it inside a main. Okay, inside our main we have our div and we are going to copy and paste these styles here. Okay, that's it. Let's dive into the hard part of using Google Maps inside our React application without using any external component by integrate the script. But before integrate the script, I will copy this function, not the variable map. We just copy this function and keep it here. In React, you can say function name. You have to keep it arrow function, just like this. Awesome. We have our function now. As we don't have the var map, we will keep it something like const map or maybe var map here, whatever you like. Now we have almost integrated everything except the most important thing and the most difficult one as well, the script tag itself. Let me explain why this is the hardest thing. Because to integrate it, you have to go to page like index. You know that this div that take ID root here in our index.js, we are using that div in our React application. You know, React control this root div. So let's back here. Now we should integrate our script tag. So we will integrate it here. You know, if you integrate it here or even here, it won't make any difference because React won't be able to access this inside React itself. Especially that we are using a callback function. So how can we use a script tag? Most of you have tried things like React loaders or something like that to integrate the script tag. But you know, as I promised, we won't use many external things here. So we will build this from scratch as well. This is a very simple function and let's just copy our script tag here and write our function. We will create a function called something like load script. Okay, this function will take a parameter called the URL. You know, it would be the URL. What's inside this function? First of all, we will have something called the reference or the index of the script tag, the first script tag. So let's call it index window.document.get element by tag name, and we will pass a script tag name of 0. Now we are going to select all elements which have the tag name script, so we will select these tags, okay, and we say of 0, so we will select the first one of them. What's next? We will say var script. This is our script tag. We will say window.document.create element. You know, we are just creating elements. This is plain JavaScript script. Let me expand this much better. Now we have a script tag. Let me keep it sync. So we have this. That's the result of this code. Okay, what's next? We should have a source. So we will say script.source equal URL, this URL. If you want to call it source and this equal source, whatever you like, do it. So now we have a source. Awesome. What's next? We have async and differ. How can we do the async? We will say script.async equal true. Script.differ equal true. Again, this is a plain JavaScript code. We are accessing the properties of our tags and give them another value and so on. So one last thing, now we have this async and differ as well. So only one thing left is to say index. I will write this code and then I will explain it. Index.parent node.insert before script and index. Let me explain it to you. Here we have selected the first script tag, correct? Okay. After that, we have created our script tag, this one. What's next? The next step is to AppendChild, as you get used to call it, AppendChild. But we won't use AppendChild. We will use something called insert before. So we will select the index or the reference or the first script tag, then we'll select its parent node and then insert our script before it to keep our script at the very beginning of our list of scripts. Let's remove everything here. Okay, now we have our function. The next step is to use this function by passing a parameter to it. So let's create another function called RenderMap or load map, whatever you like. Our RenderMap function will do one thing, or I would say two things. The first thing is that it will load the script. We should pass a URL, this URL. Let's delete it. Okay. What's missing here? Our API key. I want to get into details on how you can get your API key. Okay, you should have it already. Or if you haven't, go to Google Developer Console to get it. Okay. I will just use my API key here. Great. Let's check what's going on. Okay, we have an error here because Google is not defined. Guys, if you noticed or if you didn't notice this, I used window dot. Window is the global object of your HTML document. Okay, so Google here is not defined. To be defined or to let the browser access it, you have to say window.google. Now this will disappear. Okay, now we should see our map. I guess we shouldn't see our map now, but let's say it. Let's call it 100 VH. Okay, let's keep it vh to stay 100% of our document or window. If you are curious what is VH, VH is viewport height. So it's the height of our viewport. Our viewport is this space. If we expand this, so our viewport is this, our viewport height. You see? That's it. It's just a side note. Anyway, now we should render our map. But you know, we have everything set up, but nothing called. How can we call our render map? We will use a lifecycle event called component did mount. This.renderMap. Let's see how it goes. Okay. You know, this error because we didn't initialize our map. This init map is not visible here. You know, we are rendering our script tag. I will say what I mean. Here we have our script. We say here callback equal init map. When JavaScript tries to render the init map, it doesn't find it. So how can we keep it visible? By converting it to the window object. So we will say window.initMap equal this.initMap. JavaScript here is looking for window.initMap. So we will set a value to this function initMap inside our window, and we will keep this value with our init function here. Let's try this out. Okay, we have our map. Don't worry, for development purpose only, this is just because we have exceeded our quota for this API. That's completely fine. And if you deliver your project like that, it would be accepted without any problem. I guess that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any question related on how we integrated Google Maps inside our application using this from scratch vanilla JavaScript way, just keep me updated. Okay, see you in the next lesson.